Presentation in MI3, and this is Yuki,
はい
Yusuke,
はい
and Yasutomo.
はい
Today, we introduce our solution, Dr. One. Dr. One is a revolutionary system that will open a new medical frontier in developing countries. Dr. One has three features. First feature is an auto-diagnosis system for patients who really need a medical care in developing countries. Second is a medical support system for doctors working in developing countries. And third is a great hazard map. Using Dr. One, we can reduce the number of children who lost their life under 5 years old. And it is also effective to the people who is suffering with HIV/AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. This is goal 4 and goal 6 on MDGs. Now, I will show you the process how Dr. One solves the problem and change the world. To show you the process, I've divided my presentation into 4 parts. First, I will talk about the problem definition. Second is solution design. And third, innovation point and user experience of Dr. One. And finally, I'll show you our business model. Alright, let's begin. In 2009, the number of children who lost their life under 5 years old is equivalent to 8 million in the world. Why they lose their life? Look at this graph. This graph shows the main cause of their death. You can see that 60% of the diseases are the common diseases we all know. Pneumonia, the diseases of lungs, and diarrhea, the problems on the stomach, you know. If you took proper treatment, these diseases can be treated 100% with really little expenses. And 73% of these diseases, which is the cause of children's death, are the infective diseases. The effective way to prevent and treat the infective diseases is to know their health condition properly and get early treatment. Get early treatment. What I want to say is, many children in the developing country cannot access to the enough medical care. So they do not know whether they are in a critical state or not, and their diseases become more serious. Well then, why they can't access to the medical care? The simplest answer is the shortage of doctors. For example, in developed countries, the number of doctors per 100,000 people is about 400 doctors. But in developing countries, the number of doctors is only about 1 doctor. Another example, Dr. Eric Goemare, working in South Africa, says that doctor shortage interfere medical activity in developing countries. I mean, the doctor shortage deprived of the opportunity to the enough medical care. Well then, what the ICT can solve the problems? As we design the solution, we focus on a doctor's working process. When I break down the doctor's working process for 3 steps, first is interview and diagnosis, second is formula and treatment, and third is aftercare and warning. Actually, which process needs more time? I can say that first and third processes need more time, and if the ICT can cover this process, it is really helpful for the doctor. and more people can get medical care. However, many people tried this challenge and gave up because there are some challenge to systemize the doctor's working process. For example, to diagnose the diseases, it is thought that we need expensive medical equipment such as X-ray. And another thing, to achieve high accuracy in diagnosing the diseases has been really difficult. But in fact, we found an idea that over 90% of diseases can be diagnosed without using any medical equipment. This idea is called general medicine. In general medicine, doctor diagnoses the diseases in a dialogue between a patient and the doctor. And in the dialogue, doctors use easy words and don't use medical terms. This idea is born in Japan, and it is really new idea in medical world. So we implemented this idea in our system. In implementing, we discussed with doctors, and today we have a video from Dr. Torigoe, one of our collaborators. He is a leading doctor in the field of general medicine and auto diagnosis system in Japan. Okay, let me show you. Now, he is talking about what is general medicine. In general medicine, doctor use an easy question and ask it again and again to the patient, then he will find the disease. Next, he will talk about how it is helpful for doctor to use. In the future vision, Dr. 1 will achieve the system like doctor. Well then, I will show you the Dr. 1's system configuration diagram. In Dr. 1 system, the patient can find all diseases by interacting with the Dr. 1 using text messages. The auto diagnosis system can diagnose the diseases with higher accuracy than any other system. Of course, the whole system of Dr. 1 includes mail server and medical database is processing on a cloud platform, Windows Azure. And doctor can use medical support system such as a hazard map on a Silverlight. To use Dr. 1, you can access the content on all of your devices in any time, anywhere, and it's free. So it is very useful for people in developing countries. Alright, next, we will show you the demo and user interface of Dr. 1 from Yuki, and he is developing the main system of Dr. 1.
Thank you, Motoki. Hi, I'm Yuki. I am developing the main system of Dr. 1. I will explain how Dr. 1 helps people with 3 features. The first feature is the marvelous auto diagnosis system. When you feel something wrong with your body, it's time to use Dr. 1. The patient only sends a mail like him, like this. I have a headache. This message is sent to our Dr. 1 server. You can also use Dr. 1 on a mobile phone, like this. Nowadays, mobile phone is widely used in the developing countries. Today, I will show you all process of Dr. 1 with this rich interface, Windows Phone 7. Okay, let's start Doctor 1. Here is the past data of diagnosis. Now, let's select this one. In this dialog, the system asks, do you have sputum? And then the user answers, yes. Only this. The user answers yes or no. Motoki, did you get a mail?
Yeah, I got it. This is a mail. Patient receive a mail like this. This is Windows Phone 7, but the SMS is used on Doctor 1. People can use SMS. So there is a, do you have a sore throat?
As you see, the system asks the question many times to identify the patient's disease. Next, let's take a look at this. In conventional expert system, they use the question like this. Do you have pain under the collarbone? Collarbone. What does mean? What does collarbone mean? It's too technical, isn't it? Instead, Doctor 1 asks the question like this. Please twist your body. And do you feel pain? Only this. And this is it. That's the essential of general medicine with Doctor 1. After you get the diagnosis from Doctor 1, you will find the general, some general disease can be treated by yourself. But sometimes you have to go to the hospital and be treated by doctors or get medicines. In such cases, Doctor 1 can reduce doctor's diagnosis process. The second feature, the support system also helps doctors. Okay, please take a look at this application. This is the main system and main page of Doctor 1. And doctors mainly use doctor page. Okay, I select this doctor page. At first, patient inputs their own phone number in system for security. Okay. Now, this page shows the past diagnosis results, and doctors can see the log of the process between Doctor 1 and patient. If doctors can look at this, they don't have to ask the same question, and they can reduce their diagnosis time. Furthermore, we are trying to implement to Doctor 1 the recall system. It means Doctor 1 can recommend doctor's diagnosis process. Okay? The message is recommended by Doctor 1 can help reduce human errors. The last feature is hazard mark. By running this system, Doctor 1 will collect a lot of data. You will see this in the form of hazard mark. Hazard mark is this. The top page shows the most terrible disease based on monthly data. And these red markers indicate the number of patients and patients' information. Okay, let's take a look at the pneumonia data. You can see the locations and frequency of the patients by using statistical data. For example, raising awareness can be valid to combat acute infection. So, we found that this system is very valid. Patients can see the alert mail via mobile phone or silver light, like this. The alert mail describes the type of disease, acute infection route, and appropriate treatment methods. Okay, as you see, the old diagnosis system can help both doctors and patients. In addition, the system can prevent disease by raising awareness. So, we are confident that Dr. 1 is one of the most innovative system in the world because it has high diagnosis accuracy and a user-friendly system. Okay, next we will talk about business model from Motoki.
Thank you, Yuki. It's a great system, isn't it? Well, I will talk about the business model. If you want to use Dr. 1, Dr. 1 is free, as I said, because Dr. 1 receives an investment from mobile business company. In addition, we are going to sell Dr. 1's marketing data to the drug manufacturing company. Dr. 1's data shows them where and when the people need medicine. The data is really useful for them. However, it is a statistical data, not a personal data, so the privacy is well kept. In our calculation, Dr. 1 reaches the break-even point in 5 years. Furthermore, Dr. 1 leads to various business opportunities. A lot of people can produce a new business using Dr. 1, like a drug delivery service. And of course, Dr. 1 reduced the number of children who lost their lives under 5 years old. Dr. 1 is really effective to the infectious diseases, as Yuki said. So, if 60% of the people who need medical care use Dr. 1, the number of children who lost their life goes down in 5 years. Well, this is the end of our presentation. As you see, Dr. 1 can change the whole medical structure in the developing countries and activate the local economies. We believe that our solution can do this. Well, it's a great time for us. Thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions?
Okay. Very interesting presentation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have it's always very nice to see good words and there's a lot of questions popping up. I will just make a few so one is also asking. First, how can you claim that you reduce such an amount of child death? Where do those numbers come from? Did you think about any sort of exploitation plan for your proposal, for your solution, to put it into market, to work really, and then make some sort of estimation of the numbers you show us?
Thank you for your question. You mean Dr. Wang can really reduce the number I told you? Okay, this question, Yusuke can answer the question, so he will answer.
Answer your question. We think that it is possible to decrease 1/4 of 9.7 million infants. And because we estimate that Dr. Wang can save 30% infants, which die from pneumonia.
Okay.
We calculate 39. We said not 39%, and we calculate like this. I said that Dr. Wang is really affected to the infectious diseases, and 73% of the diseases are the infectious diseases, and the accuracy of Dr. Wang is 90%. And 60% of the people who need Dr. Wang use Dr. Wang system, so Dr. Wang is 39%.
Can I make another question? More technical one now. How is the system fed up with questions, and how do the system decide what questions to make to specific questions?
That's a very critical question. Thank you for the question. Okay. You mean how to diagnose the diseases and how to select the question people need?
Okay, it's a twofold question. First, where do the questions come from? Next, if you have a pool of 100 many questions, how does the system select the question to make the specific question to make to one specific patient?
Okay. Sorry, but where the question come from means.
Okay, let me put it in other words. Maybe I was not clear. So the way the system works is making questions, simple questions, and then make a diagnosis. Okay? Where do those questions come from? We invented them, the system.
Okay. And how to choose the question? You mean?
First, where do the questions come from? Then, if you have 100 questions, which you said you just make 1, 2, 3, not too many, which ones? How to select it?
Okay. This question, Yuki, he's the main developer of Dr. Wang, can answer the question.
Okay. How to make the question on database? So we are collaborating the doctor with doctor in the slide, Dr. Torigoe, and the databases information data, diagnosis question data is collected by Keijiro Torigoe. He is doctor, and
so he is the person that feeds up the system with questions, with general questions.
Now we already have a medical database created by some Kim and other doctors, and then we have to put new question to medical database because our database is created in Japan and it's in English. So if you use in Africa, we put a new question some questions, not many, but some questions. We have to put question in medical database, but we cooperated with the doctors working in there, and he will input the question in from Silverlight user interface. We don't show you today, but the second question is how to choose question.
Okay. We use method, that's Gaussian estimation method. So,
Okay, I get the answer. That's a good solution.
Thank you.
So you say that your system is 90% accurate? You said that the system is 90% accurate?
Oh, yeah, man.
What happens to the 10% where your system gets it wrong?
It's a very good question.
We think that your answer too, very answer. Wait a moment, please.
Okay, this question, he will answer the question too.
Okay. We assume to increase the accuracy, we are trying to use data of human information, such as beat of heart.
I mean, general medicine is very great idea, but of course we need some kind of data of the patient. It's not so difficult to know, but like temperature. And in developing country, people don't know the temperature of oneself. So it is a 10%.
So if your system doesn't know the answer, it says you must go and see a real doctor and present your symptoms because you fall in the grey area where I can't make a decision about what might be wrong with you. Is that correct? I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's a perfectly good response. That's exactly what it should do. I think that's where you have to go. You're using SMS messages to send the questions and the answers backwards and forwards, and your target is people who have SMS phones. Is it economical for them to do that? Can they? How many messages does it take normally to come to a diagnosis, and can the user support that?
You mean Dr. One called about patient?
Yes, if I feel ill, I'll send things, I have pain in my head, it will come back, which part of your head, and I'll say it heads towards the front. Each time I say that, it costs me, say, 10 pence or something, it costs me some money. Does that mean, can I afford to do that in your target market? It's not too expensive for me to do that.
Dr. One requires less than 10 times to diagnosis.
So it's the cost of 10 messages, and I find out either Dr. One knows what's wrong with me, or it would like me to, I'm in the 10%, in which case we have to go and see a real doctor. So,
Yeah, of course, depends on type of disease. Yeah.
SMS is not so expensive because the data amount is really small, and so it's very reasonable to
could you
use.
expand Dr. One to send a picture so that it could say, you have something, does your mole or does your injury look like this? And they could receive a picture message which says, would it be easy to make your system do that?
We assume that diagnosis disease is critically to their life. So injuries or so
how you can ensure that the messages are not transformed.
Security. Thank you.
You mean on this question, we have to talk about two story about security. First is patient. Of course, security is patient privacy program and the security on data transfer or something wrong, something happens in cloud. So we told two story about Dr. One security from
Patients input their phone number, so doctors cannot know their privacy, and our diagnosis data is data
processing on.
processing on Windows Azure, so it is secure.
Do you have any question?
You said that you've already got investment with the business model. You said that you've already got investment, or you're going to get investment.
No, we will get investment from mobile-based company. The mobile-based company invests for us because many people, if Dr. One used in Africa, we will use in Africa. Many people want to use Dr. One, and people use mobile phone to use Dr. One. And it is a problem of their life, so it is it's not about the problem about matter of money or something. If I have a child and if I use Dr. One, can save the child's life, we pay the money for Dr. One and the mobile-based company.
Does every single user of Dr. One have to have a unique phone number of their own? If I am family, I am a father, I have a telephone, my daughter and my son do not. Can Dr. One handle it?
It's a very good question. In this question, here, answer.
Of course, one phone number, we recognize family of one phone number. So,
one family needs one phone number because it is not so difficult to select the user of the phone number. One phone number. Used by some of their family.
I think basic answer. So that's it.
You could easily put something in front of each message so that it said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then identify 0. 1 would be the father, and then 2 would be the mother, 3 would be the daughter, 4 would be the son, and so you could do it that way.
That's right.
I won't charge you for that.
It would be very interesting for you to consider, let's say, Dr. One version 2, to consider some sort of large scale data mining or something, where for instance, you have Dr. One spread around a lot of people. You could think about data mining
Oh, thank you. We would like to express a sincere appreciation for all the kind care after 3/11. We promise Japan will make a full recovery in future. Thank you.